Because you're a bit frank for the game that we exist in.
Ish.
Has that made you feel the need to pull back on the frankness of what you actually think and how you actually feel?
Not really. I think it's made me just aware of how powerful words are. So I have to be smart enough to pick my words correctly. I mean, because with situations like that, I was just like, I didn't know niggas was going to take that. You know what I mean? Because it's not like we were not thinking that. You know what I mean?
When you say we, you... Mm, 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 mm.
Damn. Now, you hear him saying that it's not like we were not thinking that, meaning he had spoken on our behalf. Meaning Kane Keid feels like the comments he made against A-Reece were what a lot of people were already thinking. So he was brave enough to be the one saying it out loud. Right? And I also want to pick you guys on what Zinga asked here. Do you think in terms of you saying what you want, should it be a matter of you having to think for the right words to say it, or you have to just say it as it is? Because now, if you think of the right words to say it, yes, you don't have to hurt the feelings of the other individual. But now, does it now take away from your honesty if you have to think about it? I want you to let me know about that one. But Kane Keid in this case, he's asked about the question of making comments against A-Reece, and he's saying he had spoken on our behalf, meaning we were thinking about A-Reece is just making the very same music over and over and over again, and nobody was saying it, and he had the balls to say it. Basically, that's what he said.
You mean... when you say... when you say we, you mean...
I mean, y'all niggas.
Damn. But for the mere fact that Zinga is laughing, maybe he might have shared the same... Like, it's a maybe, right? I'm not saying he did, but maybe. But, hey, man.
Y'all niggas, I don't want y'all niggas to leave me in the burning waters alone. Y'all know what I meant by that shit.
Let's be honest, bro. Let me also ask this question. Before Kane Keid said what he said, right? You guys, leakers, tell me, were you also sharing the very same sentiments that A-Reece is rapping about the very same subject always, right? About betrayal and friends. He was not involving other subjects within his music. Did you feel like that before the comments? And then when, of course, Kane Keid said it, you're like, yeah, definitely. That's what I wanted to say, right? Did you also feel like that? Or what? Tell me. Comment in the comment section below. And please, subscribe. Please.
Hilarious!
Y'all niggas know what I meant by that shit.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
So, would you then, in retrospect, word it differently if you were to do it again?
Yeah. I think Nota is a masterful person when it comes to saying shit like that. He said.
So now, is it a matter of regret? Do you think he's regretting on saying what he said, right? Because it's like, I'll rephrase it. Because I think it's not a matter of how he said what he said, okay? But it's him speaking his mind, basically, at this point, from how I see it, right? Because he didn't say anything bad, but he said what he thought was the main concern for him, right? He didn't use bad words or use insults in a sense, but he just said that the main reason he doesn't listen to A-Reece that much is because he feels like this and this and this and this and this and that. So now, is it a matter of that he's regretting saying that, or he wish he could have maybe rephrased it, but now how could he have rephrased it better?
Said himself about the same situation that brother's just too comfortable being a rapper. You know what I mean? And I guess that was the point I was trying to drive, but I just didn't have the right words for it.
Wait, but you kind of like also. You kind of went crazy.
Yeah, I did. I went
kinda went a little
I
crazy,
went ham.
Man, no. I need to watch that video again and also kind of digest like the crazy part in what he said.
You went a little crazy.
I
'Cause
mean,
you kind of said he's always rapping about the same thing. And obviously, we're talking about Reece. Everyone
which was
knows.
crazy, because I mean, I think I don't
That's
know.
a little crazy.
That was wild. That was wild.
touch.
Okay, I see the regret. I see the regret in what he said. And how he said it. But I think at the time when he said it, of course, to him, it felt right. It felt like this was the right thing to say. Because it is his own opinion. Right? And at the time it felt like that because as you had said that he takes from the words of Unota, who said he was just being too comfortable of being a rapper.
Touch on subjects that he's passionate about repeatedly. But
you see? Bro, this comment right here, this one.
That's a little crazy.
That was wild.
He does touch on subjects that he's passionate about repeatedly.
But Zinger, that repeatedly just confirms Kane Keid's statement. It's a matter of that he's agreeing with what Kane Keid said, but at the same time he's not agreeing. At the same time, there's no grounds on how he, of course, Kane Keid should have put this into a better way. Because that's the question that I'm still asking, Guti. What's another phrase that he could have used better to paint this or say this in a manner? Because repeatedly, meaning Zinger feels like A-Reece raps about subjects that he is passionate about repeatedly, which is the same statement or means the same thing on what Kane Keid said, that he raps about the same thing. So how is Zinger's statement different from Kane Keid's statement in a sense? Because it derives to the very same result at the end. Meaning Zinger feels the same way, bro. He felt like meaning Kane Keid was correct. People were just not saying it out loud, and he said it out loud. He was the one brave enough to say it. He said this at the beginning of this comment when he, of course, he was addressing this.
But he does do other.
He's saying, but you're saying it, and I'm sure he's thinking like, this guy. I'm sure that is what he was thinking, right? He was like, this guy. Come on, bro.
Shit as well.
Yeah, true shit. You know what I mean? I feel like that was injustice to him. What I had said, because it was like I should have been smarter than just to
maybe should have elaborated.
Yeah, elaborated on it, but I didn't. I just left it at that, and people just
they
went crazy on it. You know what I mean?
Went crazy on that.
Because
rapping about this is the very same subject repeatedly that you're passionate about is the same way as you're rapping about the same thing, because it's about majority now, right? If you're rapping it about repeatedly and it happens to come out often, then it ends up being the majority of your subject. Is that not you rapping about the same thing? Because Zinger is saying exactly the same thing as what Kane Keid said, bruh. Come on, man.
Respectfully.
You see, also when you put respectfully on shit,
it just dumbs it down. Like it dumbs down the hit. No, but like on that topic, dog, I feel like at the time I didn't have the words that I was trying to actually like put together. Like I didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only thing that was bad was that he did not elaborate further on I feel like the majority of his raps, and then maybe quote a few songs, and then like, I think that was what was missing on his statement, and then of course people just took that and just ran away with it.
But for that, I take it back
Yeah.
because I know as a listener
Yeah.
and as someone who's dabbled into his art a little bit that was kind of wild for me to say.
Yeah, because
He's taking it back, meaning he's regretting the comments he's saying, and he's like, I'm taking it back. I meant this, not that. Would have phrased it better. Yeah. But yeah, man. I hear him.
come on, you know he does more
I
than
know,
that.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, he's
I
got
mean,
more in his bag.
and so
than
that was
yeah.
that was a bit crazy for
Yeah.
me to say. So
It felt though as though even that opinion itself came mainly from the fact that you were just really trying to point out how broad and versatile Nasty
yeah,
is.
I was trying to point that out.
Yeah,
And
because I
so
think that's
with-
how the comment came in, like the question came in about, right? Am I saying it correctly? Yeah. Because when Zil asked the question, he was putting Nasty on the, like, Nasty was on the table and A-Reece came into the table, and then it was a matter of comparison on who you are listening to or who you are liking or you're fucking with, right? So it was that thing. Nasty is brother and maybe better. I don't know. That's his comments, right? We're dissecting what he was thinking at the time and feeling at the time.
Because like when it comes to artistry, okay, like Nasty
yeah,
is
Nasty's unbelievable.
he's unbelievable. You know what I
Crazy.
mean? And when it comes to subject matter, though, Reese is very good at breaking it down lyrically.
Yeah, it's
You know
good
what I
at
mean?
depth.
No, that's another debate on its own, bro. That's another debate in the matter of the artistry. Who's better when it comes to artistry, right? Is it Nasty or is it A-Reece? Because you can tell that Zinga is agreeing with the artistry part, that Nasty carries the weight on that one, of course. He carries the weight. He has that. So I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is more often? Who is more artistry between the two artists? Is it who brings out the art more, right? Between the two artists, because you can. A-Reece is able to give you a love song that is heartfelt and raps and whatnot. Both of them. So now, the main question is who does it better?
Delving in.
Yeah. He's my favorite project is today's tragedy, tomorrow's memory.
Fire. That's
So
a
beautiful.
modern day classic, no?
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, bro, that one is a classic, bro. Out of all A-Reece's project, I'm fine. Top tier, bro.
Definitely. It was so beautiful. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of his best works, and that's something that he didn't.
Yeah, I think also at the time, after the comments that he made, people were referencing TTM, right? And then they were saying, but listen to TTM. A-Reece is versatile. He was talking about this, he was talking about that. How can you say that he's rapping about the same subject? How, Sway, how? Right? And Vele, when he, of course, now says it, that's also my favorite, right? Just that I didn't elaborate more on my answer, but that's my favorite project. That's what he's saying. That's Kane Keid's favorite project. Shout outs, man. Shout out, because here he was honest, bro. He was like brutally honest. He was not trying to become like big headed and be like, I don't listen to him, or this is how I'm moving, da. But in the background, niggas are listening and are jamming and are doing whatever, man. So shout out to him for being brutally honest, man.
He wasn't very like, what can I say? He didn't do the whole thing off that Nasty would do. Like where I can say, okay, on this song about divorces and marriages, I sing about it. He rapped, and it was easier to digest like that. You know what I mean? I feel like I did injustice to him by saying that, yo, friendships and betrayals, which is listen, listen, like let's be honest. You know what I mean?
When you say let's, you mean yeah,
Crazy.
Nah, but like
I hear you.
I take
I
it
hear
back,
you.
man. I take it back.
yeah, which is
Nah, shout out to Kane Keid, bro. Yeah, man, there you have it. Kane Keid regrets the comments he made. He's taking them back in a sense and say, yo, man, I never meant bad. This is what I meant. I'm taking it back. Now I see better, or I know better. I'll rephrase it better next time. So yeah, man, what do you think? Comment in the comment section below, of course. Thank you for making this far. You're still watching the coolest channel. It is this. Oh, that is Z-Elix. Of course, it is this. It is that. It is Z-Elix. I thank you for tuning in and watching, man.